Okay, I'm gonna play Thai Blast. Let me just make sure that that everything's going well. Yeah, everything's recording according to plan. Then we can get started. Just be patient, please. Okay, so I got up to level 40, I think it was last time. So let's see where I am on here. I'm 12 out of all my friends, so let's see if I can get to number 1. As you can see, I'm still anxious even after my short break of even after my short break from making videos, and that break wasn't really voluntary either. It was a case of me just not really feeling fit to do it. I was just too anxious and depressed, I suppose you could say. So yeah, but that's not dwell on the past here. What's important is the future, isn't it? So, with that said, let's get on with our objective here, which is to get rid of all the bubbles here, which at the start were covered with covered by beach balls. Well, who knows? Maybe we can mix 2 Rubik's Cubes together and finish the level rather spectacularly, maybe. Like so. And so, that means we're on to level 42 now, I think. Let's see where I am in the ranking ladder. Yeah, so that's good. So, I'm first, so on to 42 now, and let's see where I am here. 6th, not bad, but again I can do better. Seems like we've got to get rid of bubbles again, but this is covered by bricks at the sides. It seems familiar. I might have done this level or maybe a similar one recently on my mum's mobile device, her tablet, I think. Yeah. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you visit NoGamerYouKnow's channel. He's a legendary YouTuber. Even if his fan base doesn't say that, it doesn't exactly say that. I mean, he's got way more subscribers than me. Got close to 300, and I remember when he only had about 50 or so. So clearly he's doing something right, but at the same time, there is plenty of people with, quite a few gamers with much more than that even. But still, he's definitely worthy of respect, being intelligent and nice and interesting to talk to, with lots of stories to tell and whatnot. Yeah. Shaping up to be kind of tricky, this level, isn't it? But I think it's only a matter of time before I do it. Don't know if you can hear me. Oh, my fan isn't on. That sound I must have been hearing, it must have been the computer fan or something. It always makes me nervous whenever it sounds loud or audible enough to be heard, at least, because I start to imagine it blowing up in my face and making me look prettier. Actually, that'd be a good thing, but it might be painful at first. So that was level 42, everyone. Think I'll be on to 43 next time, and first, now, yeah, with 99,000 points, making Wayne Gretzky proud. So, let's go on to level 43, which I'm first on. So it seems like this is a cage level with trapped colours in the cages. I wonder what those coloured blocks ever did to the authorities in order to warrant them being locked up like that so inhumanely. Although we are in something of a fantasy world here, so maybe there's corrupt authority figures here which like to see colourful blocks suffering and sad and miserable in cages, incarcerated for reasons we can only imagine. Seems we're almost done now. And then when we succeed, I can feel proud of this video as well and the progress I make in it. It's just one further step on my path to YouTube fame and whatnot, yeah. So I'm first, as always, and let's go on to 44 now. We're almost to the icy section of the map, as you can see. But first we've got rather a lot of bricks and beach balls to take care of, haven't we? Sounds like fun. By the way, on these levels with beach balls, it's often a good strategy to try and take out the blocks, which will hit a lot of beach balls once you manage to take out the groups of blocks, so to speak. And although the way I describe things might be rather confusing to you viewers at home, but at least I'm trying, aren't I? So this should get us through the level. That's power off with the Rubik's Cube and the propellers mixed together like so. Yeah. So I wonder if I'll be first on this one as well. Yeah, that's not bad, quite good, yeah. So on to 45 now, which I'm first on also. And it seems like this level is one where we have to get the toys to the bottom of the screen here. So it should just be a matter of getting rid of all these cages here at the bottom and using our power up, our 2 power-ups here at the right time. And I'd say that now might be a decent time. I mean, it was a decent result, not great, but you can't always have the most optimum results, can you? That'd possibly get boring anyway when you think about you're always winning all the time, wasn't it? Funny how there was only 3 on the 3 toys on the screen at the start. I mean, seems like quite an arbitrary number to me. Usually things are done in even numbers, aren't they? I mean, it feels more organised and pretty and professional if things are evened out in life, doesn't it? So now we're on to the icy section of the map, which seems like it might have been a Christmas section. After all, I did start playing this game around about the Easter months one year. Can't remember if it was 2015 or 2014. I think I started playing Jelly Splash in 2013, and it seems familiar I might have started playing this a year or so after I started Jelly Splash. But then again, I started playing Jelly Splash late in the year, so maybe I started Jelly Splash in maybe October 2013 or so, and I played Jelly Splash for a full year or so before starting this. Then maybe I started playing this around about Easter time-ish in 2015 or so, in which case I've made a lot of progress, haven't I? Getting to completing level 1320 or 1320 if you want to be pedantic or semantic, whichever. And on the icy things cute here, like the Yeti or Eskimo, whatever you want to whatever you call them, and the cute stout little penguin here, along with the little blocks of ice in the river, which look rather treacherous, like you'd have to carefully tiptoe from one to the other, hoping you wouldn't sink in the water and hoping you wouldn't fall in with it and possibly drown. And given that I did start this game in around about Easter time-ish in maybe 2015, it makes you think that if this game, I think the highest level when I started this game might have been in the early 200s. And if it was in the levels were in the early 200s by Easter 2015, then it makes you think that maybe these levels in the 50s and late 40s might have been released around about Christmas 2014, doesn't it? So, the Christmas presents probably indicate this as a Christmassy type level. So it makes you wonder if this section was released in the new year of 2015, maybe, doesn't it? I hadn't noticed a nice, cute snowman here as well, with the red and white scarf and the cute hat and whatnot. Maybe influenced by the classic Snowman movie with the sea, maybe for Christmas on his hat. And so let's get started on level 46. Who knows? Yeah, it's good. And I'm first on this one. So these are the levels where we first get the ice cubes, which expand each time you make a move where you don't manage to destroy one of the ice cubes like they will now. And you need to be careful on these levels to make sure that the ice cubes don't expand everywhere and start to seriously limit seriously limit your options for the amounts of moves you can possibly make, so to speak. And I could get this TNT boxes that power up here under these, in which case TNT boxes would appear in these red boxes here, but it would actually be better if I press this TNT, if I put this TNT box power up somewhere else, because making propellers appear in the red boxes would actually be more advantageous, since propellers would appear in the red boxes instead and shoot all across the screen, whereas if TNT boxes appeared in the red boxes, then TNT boxes would appear in them and they'd have a much shorter range of effect, only blowing up to 9 squares around each one. And as you can see, that wouldn't do much to the ice down there, would it? So yeah, let's put the TNT box somewhere else and maybe try to get more red boxes onto the screen, like so. See, we're getting a nice amount of them on there now, aren't we? And so I say, now we might as well do it. See, wasn't that grand? I'm pleased that my OCD seems quite... I'm pleased that my OCD seems quite a bit better today. What a score I've got. Let's go on to level 47. By the way, I like that little arch right and the whole passageway inside the ice wall there, don't you? Isn't that a nice way to divide map sections? I'm second on this one, so let's see if I can boost my score just a little bit in order to get higher still. I suppose one thing that discouraged me from making videos just lately was when I did that Tetris video as well, and I thought my voice wasn't very clear, but maybe it was a case of me having having OBS record my system sound levels too high, and so maybe that's what's blocked out my voice a little bit more than I really wanted. Anyway, it seems like we've got to get rid of the beach balls and yellow blocks on this level, so it'll be more advantageous if I use my propeller and TNT box combined here, I'd say. That way we can destroy the most of what we need to, like the beach balls. Now we only need to get rid of a few yellows, and then once again we're finished, like so. 10 minutes left. I wonder if I'll be able to do 15 videos in this video rather than the 10 I managed in the previous one. first again by a big margin. So let's go on to 48, the number, and I suppose you could say a number which will be which is a kind of integral to my life, as I suppose you could say, ever since the time when I took this kind of test or something back when I was at Lawrence Road School, Lawrence Road Primary School in Liverpool, as a young kid, and we took took this test when I think I was about 8 years old in year 4, and I think about 72 of us took the test, and unfortunately, when all was said and done, I only managed with my score, I only managed to rank about 48 out of the 72 that were taking the test, because I wasn't exactly a genius, and at the time it seemed kind of decent to me, but my dad always mocked me for it and called me number 48 and whatnot, and always laughed if we heard the number 48 other times in life. And so that's probably the reason why the number 48 is always quite infamous to me, really. Sometimes in the past I've thought that if I'd have ever become a hockey player, I would have worn the number 48 on my jersey, in fact, as a way of poking fun at that whole debacle when I was young. I mean, when you think being ranked 48 out of 72, I was only just barely in the second third after people who were taking the test, wasn't I? So yeah, it was kind of appalling when you think about it. Anyway, let's forget about number 48 and go on to 49. Just shy of 50 now. A landmark number, I guess you could say, and a 9th on this level. Seems like we've got to get toys to the bottom of the screen on this level too. And there seems like quite a few ice blocks here, ready to try and still our progress and make things difficult for us. But alas, they're all gone now, so we can breathe a little bit easier as we try to get these cute innocent toys to the bottom of the screen where they want to be. Although there's still quite a few bricks up there to worry about, isn't there? I often find it funny how when you get enough blocks to put a propeller on the screen, sometimes you'll put it somewhere where you think that if it's pointing the way you want it to point, it will help you finish the level with your next move. But even though there's a 50-50 chance the chances are 50-50 that it will point it the way you want it to be. I find that more often than not, it will point the other way if you're wanting it to point a certain way when you're choosing where to put it on the board. So yeah, sometimes I think the AI in this game is quite aware of what you're trying to do sometimes, and that it will kind of maybe cheat you sometimes in order to stop you from completing levels too fast sometimes if things are really close. Whereas other times, when you're doing really well, I suppose it knows it couldn't really cheat you then because it would kind of look too obvious in those conditions. But I'm not slighting the game, it is really fun and really cute and addictive and a good way to pass time as well. So anyway, I think that was level 50, a landmark, as you could say. But it seems like we've got enough time after all to do 15 levels, so let's move on. That was level 50, wasn't it, I think? Yeah. So, on to level 51 we go now, and I pass another friend of mine. So, seems like we've got a lot of bricks in inconvenient places here as we embark on our next mission to get rid of all the bubbles here on this screen. But when things are tricky or challenging, it does make things more interesting, doesn't it? And as you can see, I'm quite an expert when it comes to racking up the points sometimes on these levels by getting the power-ups together like so. Three stars once again. Wonder if I'll be at the number one here. I wonder. Yes, by a huge margin. So let's go on to 52, which again seems kind of simple from what we've got to do, just getting a certain amount of colours, and I'm 9 here. But there's a lot of ice there to worry about, isn't there? That could pose a problem and quite a few complications here, maybe. Especially when my moves seem limited, like at times like this, as the ice is moving and gradually taking up more and more of the screen as we speak. I make my moves fast, don't I? Sometimes maybe too fast, as when I watch these videos, when I was watching my last video at least, I did notice myself make at least one big mistake while trying to complete a level, and as a result it meant I finished with what I thought was quite a paltry score. But that isn't the case this time, I'm happy to say. These levels are taking a bit more time to do though, aren't they? As this video's getting to 30 minutes now, and we've still got maybe 3 levels left. And as you can see, my mum's score's pretty much almost unbeatable on that level. So on to 53 now, which I'm 5th on. Another one where we need to get toys to the bottom of the screen, and there's rather a lot of bricks surrounding them, isn't there? No wonder they're looking so anxious. They must feel rather claustrophobic within the confines of all those bricks, I'd imagine. Be like kind of being in a house with no doors and no windows, wouldn't it? I'd imagine soon you'd be sweating to get out of there as well in that kind of a scenario. And I might have looked a little bit nauseated there, but that was because I was struggling to stop myself from throwing up in my stomach, which happens to me quite a few times for some strange reason in life. But I'm not exactly the healthiest person, so I suppose it's to be expected. Two more levels left and then we'll finish up here. Second once more. First on this level though. So at least I'm saving some face there, I suppose you could say. And we've just got to get toys to the bottom of the screen here as well. These early levels often were kind of simple when it came to the objectives demanded in order to finish them. There we go. On our way to finishing this one now as well. Yippee! I suppose one of the bad things about me playing this fast as well is that I'd imagine some people are maybe having trouble kind of following me here and really taking note of what I'm doing or what I'm trying to accomplish when I finish the levels, but I feel like if I explained everything that I try to do in these levels, it'd get boring, not just for new people watching, but for me as well, really. At least I finished that level with a commanding score. So let's go on to 55, which should be our last level for today, and I'm third on this one. Gotta get rid of bricks again, but that's rather an intimidating looking startup, isn't it? Not many moves to make at all, just one possible move, in fact, with ice everywhere on screens. But maybe it'll be easier once we get started. Notice how I don't always immediately make power-ups out of blocks as well either. Sometimes it's more strategically sound if you hold it off a bit if you can, without losing the opportunity to make the power-ups anyway, and do other things which might be more pressing, which might be more urgent, I suppose you could say, on the board first. And so that's our session over with today. So have a nice day, everyone, all you DJ fans out there. First again, and I'll see you all next time. And then we'll hopefully advance another map section. So goodbye, everyone.